Real Madrid's squad are.
Real Madrid have a European date, of course, in midweek on Wednesday. They travel to take on Atalanta, and then the next two league games, Real Sociedad and Atletico Madrid. So a absolutely key moment of the season, these next 2.5 weeks for Real Madrid.
Can I throw in the fact that Cruz has picked up where he left off last week? He was the #1 winner back of the ball last week with 7, 2 already today. It's not what he's known for. It's usually Casemiro's task, but the German has been excellent in that facet of the game that helped Real Madrid break when they win it high and then counter.
Casemiro back to the skipper, Varane. Varane's made more appearances than any other outfield player for Real Madrid this season, only missed the 1 game. Here's Mendy. Toni Kroos. Mendy trying to thread it through for Vinicius. It's cut out. And the throw-in for Real Madrid. 15 minutes on the clock at the Estadio José Zorrilla. And it's a nicely balanced game. Real Madrid with most of the possession, but Valladolid showing plenty of intent when they have the chance to come forward, and they've had the best chances so far. There's Casemiro. Closed down by Sergio Guardiola. Now Mendy. Kroos, Modric. Mariano spinning outside to find Vinicius. Good build up here from the visiting team. Lovely step over from Modric. And now the cross right into the danger area, headed away by Joaquin at the expense of a corner, but nicely built up by Real Madrid, and no surprise it was that man Luka Modric looking to provide the penetration at the end of that long move.
Pusella awake this time. Modric ran away as if he wasn't going to ask the ball from Kroos, turned and ran, and instantly there were 2 of Sergio's players attent and running after him. Didn't do it last time.
Kroos with the corner, solidly headed away. Valladolid have everybody back defending the corner. Bit of pressure on Lucas Vázquez now, safely back to Thibaut Courtois. Kroos, lovely cushion first time pass, exactly where Vinicius needed it to be able to drive towards goal. Now Mariano in the starting lineup today, as a reminder, in place of the injured Karim Benzema. His first start since November. Casemiro sees the run outside of Lucas Vázquez, but he can't thread the pass behind Quique Pérez. Free kick taken quickly. Run being made by Oriana, looking for Janko. Nacho is there to get it back to Courtois, and he's another of those players, Nacho, Graham, like Lucas Vázquez, such a valuable player in the squad. As Kroos with the brilliant ball forward, Asensio tries the dink, and the offside flag does go up in the end, so it spares Asensio's blushes somewhat.
Wasn't he delighted? Because as soon as he flicked that into Masip's hands, he looks around praying that the flag goes up. The ball is good, the decision's tight, but right. Now, there's a slight fumble here, and it's a little bit reminiscent of the goal he scores to put Real Madrid 1-0 up with 10 men against Levante before they lose.
What a pass it was there from Toni Kroos as well.
In the summer, it'll be 7 years since he joined from Bayern Munich. Pep Guardiola begged his board to keep the German.
Here's Asensio. Plays it too far ahead of Vinicius this time.
And the point I'm making, that at the moment he hasn't fulfilled those 7 years, but his number of seasons, his pass accuracy, total average across 6 2/3 seasons, 93% across his entire time, all competitions at Madrid.
That's astonishing.
It's a phenomenon, isn't it?
It's freakish. It's freakish. And Kroos, Casemiro, Modric, what a trio they've been over the years for Real Madrid. I think this is now, with this game, 948 appearances between them for Real Madrid. They'll probably reach 1,000 between them before the end of the season. And that tells you just how good they are. You don't get to play that many games together for Real Madrid without being very special. And they complement each other so well. Casemiro with his defensive presence, Kroos with his metronomic passing, and Modric with his ability to create danger and defend as well, his incredible energy too. What a magnificent trio they've been. And here's Modric sending it out to Asensio. Vázquez on the overlap. The cross is too deep and cleared away by Luis Perez. First touch from Janko is a great one, and then a foul by Nacho on Sergi Guardiola, and I think that was a foul Nacho was happy to make because he knew his team was facing a counter-attack there.
I think Guardiola is happy enough to buy it. If you look at his Kenny Dalglish sticking his backside out to make sure if you come close to me it's going to look like a foul. When this guy came from Getafe, he helped save them with goals in the last couple of weekends in his very first season, his half season there. Sergio owes him, Ronaldo Presidente owes him. There is nonetheless a bit of tension about Marcos André fit. Would he start ahead of Guardiola? Yes. The goals have dried up this season for Guardiola. Good season last season, 8. But now there's not a great deal of feeling between him and Sean Weissman in a club this small, with a clever director of football in Miguel Ángel Gómez, one of Monchi's lieutenants, brought in by Ronaldo. The idea that you have two strikers who can't or won't get on, well, that's anathema. And Sergio Guardiola, picked first tonight, owes his coach and his president a big performance.
He does need a goal. He's only got one of them this season, and that was way back in September. Another player who could do with stepping up for Valladolid as well is another player they made a big effort to sign, Orellana. Yep. We'll come back to that because here is Guardiola going down, no free kick given. Mendy able to walk away with the ball.
The referee got that right, Andy.
Just on Orellana, he was a player that Valladolid went to a lot of effort to sign from Eibar at the end of last season, and at the age of 35 it was a bit of a gamble to go for, put that much faith in him, and he really hasn't responded yet. He's only scored twice this season, both penalties, only one assist, just not being the player that they expected yet.
Couldn't agree more. As well as the goal threat, the president wanted more entertainment, a player who could thrill, but also, while thrilling, cause a little bit of anarchy around opposition defences, and he's done none of the above.
Corner taken quickly. Asensio with the cross straight into the arms of Jordi Masip, and that was a chance wasted somewhat because Valladolid again didn't look quite ready for that quickly taken short corner.
Rip Van Winkle 2 out of 3 times, unacceptable.
Talked about the entertainment that the Valladolid president wanted and the anarchy that he wanted Orellana to cause around the penalty area. The president could do a bit of that, wasn't he? He was quite entertaining.
He comes down and does coach the strikers, not...
Now here's Mariano, possibly offside, but play going on for now. Mariano holding off the challenge and finishing. Is it going to count? No, the flag now goes up, as is the way now. The linesmen are instructed to let the move play out, and that is in case there is a mistake. There isn't a mistake there. We clearly see it is offside, but if you could put the flag up too early and then he made a mistake, it's too late. You can't do anything about it at that point. But there, if the linesman had made a mistake in his judgment, we get it right in the end.
2 things to say about Mariano. His judgment of offside was 0, which is not untypical for a guy, for any player who started 3 times in 2 seasons. But overall, it's a positive. Clearly offside, right decision. But the fact that he buried it does him the world of good mentally. He knows that once he got himself in a bit of a situation, because his first touch wasn't great, he used his strength and his vision to clear out his left foot, to beat Masip. You know, the scoreline stays the same. He was offside, but he hit the net. For strikers, that matters.
Now Mendy, we've not seen too much of him coming forward yet, but we do now. A very forceful run to find Vinicius. One-on-one with Perez, cuts it back for Kroos. deflected cross is going to be easy into the arms of Jordi Masip. Would you have wanted Vinicius to take on the defender there rather than, as we see, Isco on the bench and confirmation of the VAR offside? It was a rather conservative move by Vinicius, just laying it back for Cruz rather than driving inside, trusting himself to beat his man.
Well, hold on a second. Neither you nor I are guilty of over-criticism, but it's one of the things that this young Brazilian does suffer from. People get at him and say, your decision-making. So if you call it conservative, you might also call it right. He came onto his correct foot. He was looking to square it. If he's gone past the defender, which is a difficult act with short space to run into, and he's going onto his weaker foot and the ball is rubbish, people will hammer him. So we have to be careful what we expect. Not you and I, but in general in the media, we have to be careful what we expect. Perfection from a 20-year-old? No, thank you.
Oriana with the cross that is blocked by Varane. Yeah, I agree with you totally. I think a lot of the criticism on Vinicius is very unfair. That you have to remember he is only 20, which he maybe seems older because he's been around for a while, because he came through when he was so young. But he's an explosive player, no doubt about that. And at the other end now, though, the corner for Valladolid. See, they like a bit of variety with their corners. 40% of them go near post. Is that where Roque Mesa will aim now? 6 Valladolid players inside the box. It goes short to Nacho Martinez. Changing the angle for the cross to come in. Cleared as far as Oriana, who was a little tentative. And great work from Vinicius. Brilliantly done defensively to spark the counter. Casemiro helps it on to Asensio. Real Madrid have 4 forward. Lucas Vázquez is one of those. Referee allowing advantage. And probably now would wish that he hadn't done, but too late to bring it back as Valladolid can try to come forward. Nice skill from Quique Pérez. Ruben We were just talking, Graham, before the corner about Vinicius, and then we saw a glimpse of his skill, the way he not only had the ability, the technical ability to clear the danger for his team, but also the fight that he put in. He battled harder than Oriana there. Here's Oriana cutting it back for Janko. Solid block by Mendy. Varane with the header away. Roque Mesa trying to thread it through. Varane again in the way.
Yeah, so as the ball goes dead, picking up your point about Vinicius, I don't want to be in the phase of sounding like a PR advisor as we see the Roque Mesa effect. Be surprised if our referee hasn't had a quiet word with them. Mr. Cuadra Fernandez. Vinicius is a guy who the cameras caught Benzema slagging him off to Mendy and saying, don't give him the ball, he's playing for the other team. When you're in a foreign country with masses expected of you and you're 20 years old, that damages your confidence. So to see what you pointed out there, defensive stability. And you don't know I would move
here. He is on the ball, threading it through. Lovely pass for Mendy, who will cut onto his right foot. Now on the turn, Mariano turns again, back to Mendy. Can they get a shot away here? It's Asensio, back for Cruz. He works it wide for Vázquez, nodded down for Modric. Cross takes a deflection into the arms of Masip, gathered by the goalkeeper, and maybe Mariano guilty of taking a touch too many there.
I think the British expression, after you, Claude, doesn't quite apply in Spanish. I don't know how to say it, but that's what was happening there, as every player in black and pink was kind of going, well, would you like to? But you're right, initially, right at the beginning, if Mariano gets out of the way unselfishly, Asensio strikes with his left foot, and chances are he puts it on target.
Alcaraz miss-hitting the pass, too much on it there for Oriana. The intention applauded by Sergio.
Listen, the action cut us off and I'll be brief, but Ronaldo does go down and talk Sandro and Enes when they were at the club through their finishing. He will be doing the same for Weissman, for Guardiola. He's not very, very hands-on, but he does make sure that when he attends training, something that Sergio loves him to do, that he dishes out pearls of wisdom.
What a pass from Ferland Mendy to Vinicius, who can't quite beat the second defender. As a challenge came in well from Bruno, and now the counter-attack being launched by Roque Mesa, pointing to Janko where he wants him to go. Instead goes inside to Quique Perez. Swept wide to Orellana. Now back over to Janko. Roque Mesa. Luis Perez. Janko with a nice turn. Possession being switched from right to left now as Orellana has another chance to take on Lucas Vázquez, who's tigerish in the tackle, but Orellana still has it. Sends in the cross, it's a good one, and Quique couldn't make clean contact with the header as he was challenged by Ferland Mendy, but that was a good cross from Orellana.
And you called it right, it's simply because Mendy was so tight to him that Quique couldn't get the leverage on the header to trouble Courtois.
Now Modric twice getting away from Ruben Alcaraz, 3 times. But good tracking back by Nacho, but Modric says, I'll have it back, thank you. Mariano, 1-0, or is it offside again?
Yeah.
It is offside again.
By the same distance.
It was a brilliant bit of play from Modric, who showed great anticipation to win it back with the interception, and then the astute pass through. Modric lost it, but then was alive enough to win it back immediately. Then the pass, will review it. Yes, he's just off.
That's simply the over-eagerness of a guy who wants to score, who wants to use this to say that if Benzema's even close to fitness, I want to start against Atalanta, to show potential suitors. I know there are Premier League clubs who are actively scouting him, but it's rustiness too, Andy. If you don't play a lot and you're in, narrow, millimetre thin margins, you quite often get them wrong.
But as you said earlier, with the first chance that he also put away in the back of the net, that's what strikers want to see. Here's Orellana. That's a poor pass.
Again.
And they, in the end, Vinicius winning the free kick.
To build that chance, Modric was exactly as sharp on his toes as you described, but Orellana gifted the ball away. I mean, I know he was looking to build, I know he was looking for Nacho, but the pass was ultra sloppy, typical attackers pass out of defence, and Modric, I think as soon as he saw it was Orellana on it, he thought, yeah, I'm in here.
And it was Orellana again giving it away at the other end there to end a promising attack. Toni Kroos. Vinicius looking for the 1-2 with Mariano. Has the strength to hold off Perez, now driving inside, but just too heavy on that touch. Allowed Roque Mesa to come over and make the challenge, but he's looking dangerous, is Vinicius. Probably seeing more threat from him down the left than we are from Asensio down the right at this stage. And Real Madrid at the moment keep feeding him. Now Lucas Vázquez. Here's Asensio. Modric, can he keep it in? Cuts it back. Corner conceded by Ruben Alcaraz.
Smashing. 35. Says who? Says Modric. Says who? He chased that. Absolutely. Listen, we know that's offside. What?
Again, the corner was played short. That's something that Real Madrid have done 3 times now. Quick, short corners. That obviously is something that they've spotted in the pre-game scouting. Zinedine Zidane instructing his players to try and catch out Valladolid.
It's a little bit odd. One, Sergio is extremely exacting in terms of defensive organisation, both from set plays, but in open play too. Secondly, Joaquin is a very vocal central defender, and it should be him organising everybody and saying, not just are we man for man and zonally correct, but are we awake, are we sharp? And they haven't been.
They'd love to get some stability in the back four over the next few weeks. Valladolid, whose success last season when they avoided relegation quite comfortably in the end, was built on a really solid back four, but they've lost the 2 key central defenders from that side. We'll come back to that as Mariano makes a really good run. In the end, Jordi Masip can pick it up. But they lost Salisu, obviously, and Kiko Olivas, who I think was an underrated player within that Valladolid success story of last season. He's missed the whole of this season so far through injury. He is back in training now. Might not be too long before they have him again. But that's been the problem really for Valladolid this season, hasn't it, Graham? That they haven't been able to call upon that so solid back four that was really the cornerstone of the success last season.
Well, you're right, and even though Salisu really only had one season in Pucela colours, he was at or around man of the match today for Southampton against Chelsea in what's pretty much his debut time. As we look at Oriana's little toe poke that's so dangerous, and here's the moment when they should go 1-0, irrespective of the lunging bodies everywhere, and the Belgians, terrific save, that should have been 1-0. But yeah, the loss of Olivas, but particularly Salisu, for a great profit, the biggest sale Valladolid have ever made. That helps keep, you know, it's about half their budget assured. Yes. Have they missed them? They have.
Right on in.
Hola. Espera, no te escucho. Déjame hacer algo. Hola. Tío, ¿tú me escuchas? Escríbeme en el chat, escríbeme en el chat. ¿Me escuchas? Ya. No sé por qué no te escucho esto. A ver, habla. Habla de cualquier cosa. Ya, ahora sí te escucho, Espérame, ya vuelvo.
Ahora mejor.
Sí, ahora sí te escucho, Espera, ya vuelvo y comparto. ¿Comparto pantalla?
Sí.
¿Se ve bien? Hola.
Mariano can't control the throw-in, and behind it goes for a goal kick. How do you see that relegation battle, Graham? It's so tough to call, isn't it? There's not really anyone you would say is out of it. Even Cuesca, at times this season, showed that they could well be capable of picking up a lot more wins.
They've played some lovely football. They genuinely have. And much though I didn't think the words alone would be the curative, Patetta's aggressive attitude to "we are the kings of the world" seems to have imbued them with more confidence. Look, please, people, don't put your pocket money on my tips, but I think Huesca have left it too late.
Que Liverpool perdió otra vez. Oye, tío, ¿estás ahí? Hola. Estás muteado.
This angle probably won't show us too much.
That's slow. Keepers train about cat-like reactions, and at this stage, rather than pulling the ball back once you've stepped outside, you see keepers looking ungainly and just rescuing their position at any cost. The dive backwards, if he dives backwards to put the ball down, almost like a rugby try, he probably saves that. They're at 2/3 of his body out of the air, but the ball's still in it. It's a bit, again, Andy, the word is, it's a little bit dopey. No question.
Yeah, that angle shows us
Well done, the assistant referee.
So Cruz sends it in. Oh, Casemiro, what a chance. Casemiro should have scored.
For him, that's a sitter. Yeah, look, there you go.
He knows it, doesn't he?
We need to decorate that with more words? We don't. I mean, it's Sami Kafur-esque. Okay, it's not the Champions League final, Bayern Munich, Manchester United at the Camp Nou, but he's beating the turf just as angrily because Casemiro is good in the air, and that's a sitter.
He's very strong as well, strong enough to hold off the challenge that was coming from behind by Bruno Gonzalez. And he very much has an eye for goal, Casemiro. He's actually
second top scorer, isn't he?
Well, he's the leading scorer on the pitch for Real Madrid. Yeah, with Karim Benzema out, he's got 4 this season. Not a bad return at all from his defensive midfield position. And he will certainly feel that Real Madrid should be leading now. There he is, showing his aerial ability, winning one defensively. And Nacho tangling with Sergi Guardiola. No free kick given as Janko keeps it in, but Mendy can bring it away. Cruz to Casemiro, to Mendy. Pressure being applied by Valladolid. Good pressure as well. Refusing to let Real Madrid have an easy outlet.
I don't like this at all. Guardiola does what you might call a Harry Kane. Sorry, Harry. Looking where is the opponent going to be, backing into him, making a back for him, going down, screaming in agony. He wasn't hurt, he wasn't damaged. The attack continued. Guardiola was still lying around. They instantly picked himself up. He was running around like a spring lamb. If you want to try a little bit of street wisdom, fine, that's good. If you don't get away with it, get off your backside and get back in the play.
Now Valladolid back in the play now. They've got a free kick in the final third. Only the second foul committed by Real Madrid, approaching half-time. And so Roque Mesa, very experienced midfielder, got his first goal for Valladolid last week in the draw at Eibar from the penalty spot. Sends a free kick to the far post. Ruben Alcaraz rising, but only sends it high in the air. Bounces down for Kike. All a bit tight there. Joaquin sends it over to the left, well kept in by Kike. Still 4 in the middle, but he can't get the ball over. And then he commits what we would call a tactical foul to stop Toni Kroos from launching a counter-attack.
And Cuadra Fernandez should have been tempted to book there, because there's the tactical foul. Secondly, he stands on the ball to make sure it can't be taken quickly. Madrid are an exceptional transitions team. Cuadra Fernandez might have said, no, I'm clamping down on that, I'm going to show a yellow card. Didn't, but
no yellow cards shown yet in this game. Lucas Vazquez finding Luka Modric. Mendy. Modric continued his run, ghosting into the area. Might come back to him here. Can't quite make anything of it. Valladolid a little sloppy in getting the ball away, though. And Cruz onto Asensio. Now Vazquez back for Marco Asensio, who's been pretty quiet on the whole, and that's a poor ball, easily cut out. There might be a break now for the home side.
Tú sí me escuchas, ¿no?
Sí.
¿Viste que el Liverpool perdió? Otra vez.
has meant that they're pretty even in this game. Sergio, he will not want set plays to be as easy for Real Madrid to play short as they have been. Other than that, and a bit more Christmas in the finishing, this has not been a bottom three performance by La Pucella.
Obviously, they would love a win today, but a draw even would be enough to take them out of the relegation zone. Would lift them above Elche and Eibar. Modric tries a dummy that doesn't come off, and the shot from the halfway line struck by Quique Perez. Not quite the same accuracy as Jorge de Frutos earlier today.
That would have hit 6'4" Thibaut Courtois' shin pads, right? If it had been on target.
Yeah, I think Courtois probably looked at that one with a bit of disdain.
Nicely said.
You're going to beat me with that?
Exactly right. Let's never call it.
¿Escuchas o no?
Pretend it was a lob.
Last minute of the first half. Sorry, Graham.
No, sorry to you. Your point is true. Remember that De Frutos, for those who didn't see the game you're talking about, scored from pretty much the halfway line into an open goal against Atleti to secure a brilliant win for Levante.
Tienes que...
Pupil, you know, brought up by La Fabrica.
Yeah.
Could easily be starring for Zidane, and as they watch him, maybe they're regretting that.
That's a good point. He's having a really good season on the right wing for Levante. I think he leads the league in assists. That's what he's mainly been doing before today with that goal from the halfway line. And I love the fact, Graham, that on our co-commentary was Naeem, who was commentating on a goal from the halfway line.
He knows a thing or two about scoring from about that range, doesn't he?
Just a bit.
People tell me.
He does, mostly. Here's Modric with the cross. Cleared away.
If you can score from the halfway line in a Cup Winners' Cup final in foreign territory, you are entitled to tell millions, maybe even billions of people.
In the last minute as well. There's a winner.
I hope David Seaman's not listening.
One minute added time here. Nacho finding Vinicius. He's forced back by Janko. Cruz to Casemiro. Sees movement down the right and plays it precisely to Lucas Vazquez, who will take on Nacho. The defender gets a foot on it, and that was enough to deflect it into the arms of Jordi Masip.
Just a little tactical point, Andy. The fact that there's a little bit of fear factor for Vinicius means that there's two men on him all the time. So when the ball was circulated to Lucas wide on the right-hand side, because it was switched so quickly, he was 1v1. Okay, it didn't end up in a goal chance, but that's the type of thing that Real Madrid know to take advantage of.
So we reach half-time with the stalemate still intact. We just saw on the screen there the possession stats, 63% for Real Madrid. But on the whole, Graham, they've not really done enough with that possession to warrant the lead. In fact, Valladolid with the better chances.
No, we've got a game on. The side from the bottom three is saying, we can take you. They've missed goal chances. They'll regret that, I think, because usually against big...